This video was brought to you by Infidels for Trump Pence 2016. Alright, hi. Good morning. I've been putting off this video for a while just because I just haven't been making a lot of videos. But today is going to be my Smith & Wesson 4566 that I got back in July. I'm going to open it up and show it to you. I think they're fairly rare. I'm not sure. I haven't seen too many videos on these on YouTube. So if anybody knows more than I do, please let me know in the comments, and I'm sure that won't be hard to do. So let me get back, turn the camera around, and I'll show you the firearm. Be right back. Alright, let's get to it. I got this back in July, and it says here 8 SHFNS TDA 03, I'm assuming is the date. And as I said, I haven't seen too much about these. I got it. It was really good condition. It had been fired. That's what it looks like. And it's a 45 caliber, obviously. Came with 3 magazines. I'm assuming this is the test round that came in. It was in the box. And just bring it back. As I said, it's 45 caliber. Hopefully I'm catching this. We can give you a good look at it. From what I've been able to gather about these particular guns, is apparently this was in an effort, this has a decarker on it also, which occasionally works. These were apparently built originally in 10mm. And the story I've heard on these is they were trying to get a contract, I guess, with law enforcement and the FBI back in the early 90s. Supposedly the story I've heard is after that infamous shootout down in Miami, I think it was 92, where law enforcement thought they were dramatically underpowered with their weapons, and everybody was in a big rush to get a 10mm. Or so I've been told. Anybody who knows more about this, please leave it in the comments. I'd like to find out as much as I can. As I said, there's very little about this firearm I've been able to find. This one is in 45 ACP. And as I said, these were originally built on for a 10mm, so they're extremely overbuilt. And they made them in 45, and apparently they made a model in 9mm also. And as I said, it came with these 3 8-round stainless steel magazines, so if you chamber them up and you've got 8 in the mag, you got 9 shots to play with. Now I'm going to kind of aim this at the camera, so maybe anybody who knows or has a Colt 1911, which I haven't owned the Colt 1911 since back in 1972 when I was in high school. That's a whole nother story. But as you can tell, there's no bushing in the front. Just has your alignment piece. And yes, all these guns have been safety checked. This is my carry piece. This is my TriStar / CZ clone. And as you can see, similar arrangement, guide pin, no barrel bushing. It's fairly heavy. It has some decent sights on it. And I've got some video which I'm going to include into this back in July up in the woods in New Hampshire where I got this gun, shooting it for the first time. It's a good shooter, it aims good. I found it to be about dead nuts on at 50 feet. It's dead on. If you bring it in closer than that, you gotta aim high. And for size comparison, this is obviously the Smith & Wesson. This is the CZ clone. And then I have my Taurus PT92AF, which is actually bigger. Hopefully we can get a little better look at that. PT92 is actually bigger. This is 9mm. This will hold 17 rounds. So, what have I found about this firearm? What do I like about it? Well, I like that it's in .45, and I didn't have a .45, so that kind of pushed me into getting it, because I did not have a .45 caliber pistol, and I think everybody should have one. And again, if you take a good look at this, there's not much it has in common with a 1911. There's no safety back here. As I mentioned before, it does have a decarker, and I've noticed that the decarker does not work on this side. It does work on that side. Not a fan of a decarker to begin with. One of the other things I do not like about this gun, and it's personal, it's dead without a magazine. It's a disconnect, magazine disconnect. And obviously it will not fire, so it'll fire with a magazine. Has a kind of heavy trigger pull because it's a dual action, single action. That being said, once you fire the weapon and it goes into single action, got a little take up on the trigger, but it's got a nice trigger on it with a nice break. And again, I mentioned it has this decarker on it, which for some reason, when you go on the left-hand side of the firearm, the decarker does not work. It seems to jam against the firing pin, which I don't know if we can see, if the camera will pick that up. I don't know if you can see that riding on the firing pin. But the right side will work. That function did not work at all when I first got this gun. It had been sitting in a long, long time in a safe. And I've probably run about, I don't know, maybe 350, 400 rounds through it of .45. And that being said, I've shot Perfecta, brass, which I really like when you can get it. When I was up in New Hampshire, I bought a bunch of this aluminum case, .45 Remington. I think it's Remington, no, Federal, sorry. And it feeds that without a problem. And I ran some Amscore through here, Winchester, white box, you name it. I got, I don't know, 1,200 rounds of .45 to play with. So as I said, shooting, it shoots well. You can get nine rounds in it, with the 3 magazines is ample. And again, my dislikes on it are the decarker, which only works on one side. I don't know why. Again, and it's a pain. I prefer just to pull the trigger and drop the hammer. That's me. Do not like the magazine disconnect. Not a fan of the magazine disconnect. I guess you can do a workaround around that. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to mess with the gun. It's in really nice shape, and I like to keep it that way. As far as shooting, it shoots real well. And as I said, I have some footage of myself up in the woods in New Hampshire shooting this, and then I've got some footage of me this Veterans Day, at the gun range trying out my new metal target, my hanging steel plates that I made, which didn't work out too good. And I actually shot real terrible on that day, but I'm going to share it anyway. So anybody who has any knowledge of these Smith & Wesson 4566, please leave it in the comments, what you've known about these. I have never seen one in person before. When I first looked at this gun, I didn't know what it was. I had never seen a .45 that looks like a 9mm. I've never seen a .45 double single action before. And as I've said again, it has more in common, I think, with a 9mm than it does with any .45 that I've ever seen. And again, that's the Taurus PT92AF and the Smith & Wesson. And again, this is my carry gun, the CZ clone, which is a TriStar or Janik, however the hell you're supposed to say it. All I know, this is a really sweet little gun. I love it. And that's my take on the 4566. As I said, I've had it since July. It's a nice gun. Is it my favorite pistol? No. Will it become my favorite pistol? I don't think so. But again, I think just because of what it is, I think it's fairly rare. And I've not seen another one, so if anybody knows any more about these guns or the history, please feel free to comment. Update me. I would love to learn more about this. As I said, there's very little on the internet about these guns that I've found. I've even gone on all the Smith & Wesson forums trying to learn about them. And apparently they made them in stainless steel, and this is not stainless steel because the magnet sticks to it. And on that note, I'm going to wrap this up, roll in some shooting footage at the end of the video. So thanks for watching, and once again, Smith & Wesson model 4566 in 45. Okay, that wraps it up. Thank you so much. All right, here's a little, probably not the best video in the world out here in the woods. I'm shooting this on my phone. This is my new, I just got it today. I actually kind of traded my CZ for it. It's a Smith & Wesson model 4566, 45 Colt. It's in almost like new condition. Came with the original box, paperwork, 3 mags of ammunition. Well, 3 magazines. I supplied the ammo. So in a minute here, we're going to take a quick video of me shooting a target to see how I do at 21 feet. So I'll be back in a minute. All right, here's my first shots of the Smith & Wesson 4566. I'm at 21 feet. I'm shooting at, I think it's an 8-inch target. We're going to see what happens. All right, go for the target.
Oh, bullseye. Oh, looking good. Oh, that guy's dead.
Sun's right in my eyes.
Red, you're dead.
Yep, 8 shots. The sun just went below the tree and I can't see the damn thing now.
Oh, you did good. You did good. So what do you think of that gun?
I like it. It's got a funky trigger, but it's pretty accurate. And it would be a whole lot better if the sun wasn't blinding me like it is right now. But that's not bad. I need some more time behind the trigger.
Oh, you'll get that.
I'm kind of liking it. So, once again up here in New Hampshire, out in the middle of the woods, having a good time. Alright, here's my second magazine. I'm angled a little better, so I'm not getting quite so blind. And we're going to see how I can do, again, 21 feet with my new Smith & Wesson model 4566. Here we go. That's it, empty. That's not bad, that's better. It's a lot better when you can almost see the target. Gun's aims real easy. It's got an odd trigger on it, but once you get past the little squeak it makes, it's pretty clean. So I think I like it. I'm going to put a few hundred more rounds through it and I'll get used to it. Alright, so much for the Smith & Wesson.
Not bad from 21 feet.
I got another one over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 on accounted for.